if an individual has got respiratory complaints, if they've got asthma, if they're very panicky or anxiety, they'll tend to have a bolt score of between 5 and 15 seconds. If an individual is a recreational athlete and they're pushing themselves a little bit, but they have poor breathing habits, I often see a bolt score of between 15 and 25 seconds. If the individual is very good athlete and they still have, their breathing can be prone to improvements, they will be 25 seconds plus. The goal is 40 seconds. And there was a book, it's published in North America, it's Nutrition and Physical Performance. It's by an author called William McArdle. And he said if an athlete exhales, they should be able to hold their breath for 40 seconds before the urge to initiate inspiration resumes. In other words, they can breathe in, normal breath in, normal breath out, hold their breath for a period of 40 seconds. And when they resume breathing at 40 seconds, their breath is fairly normal. That's good breathing.
Yeah.
And I've only seen, out of 7,500 people, I've only seen 2 individuals who presented with a 40-second bolt time. One was a free diver, and the second was, she's world champion in Qigong. Basically, she's a master of martial arts, and she's got 8 black belts. She had a 40-second control pause off the bat. And I was talking to her about the breathing exercise. I wrote about her in the book. Her name is Master Jennifer Lee. And we were discussing, how did she get her control pause? Because, of course, she's living in Germany and she's exposed to the same stress that everybody else is. She was saying that the discipline was passed down from generation to generation. But obviously, as it was passed down, it wasn't getting distorted. Sorry, her discipline is Tai Chi. But oftentimes we see in various disciplines that the information, as it gets passed down through the ranks or through the generations, the information gets lost. And I think that's what's after happening in yoga. And that's what's after happening in a lot of the Eastern modalities. But if you go back to the core of these traditions, the 2 things that they emphasize is that your breathing should be subtle and that it shouldn't be hard. Well, if your breathing is subtle, you will have a high bolt time. If your breathing is hard during rest, you have a low bolt time, and you're more likely to get breathless during exercise.
Great. So as far as where people want to get to, we're looking upwards of at least 25 seconds, 30 seconds?
Yes.
Okay.
It's ideal. Like, people will feel better if every time the bolt score increases by 5 seconds. Now, just measuring your bolt score isn't going to increase it.
Right.
In order to increase your bolt score, you need to breathe through your nose day and night. I would say that do most of your physical exercise with your mouth closed. If you're a really competitive athlete, do 50% of your exercise with your mouth closed and 50% with your mouth open. The mouth closed will add an extra load onto the breathing muscles, and the mouth open will allow you to maintain 100% of your workload, so for muscle conditioning. So that's only for competitive athletes. The other thing is to practice various exercises to reset the breathing center in the brain. And also, we need to breathe through the nose during sleep. If you wake up with a dry mouth in the morning, you're breathing through your mouth during sleep, you're more likely to be fatigued, but you've spent 6 to 8 hours breathing hard. Well, that's going to reset the respiratory center in the wrong direction.